was going to kick off my fall hunting season. 2 days ago, I left Wilmington, packed up the van, and started driving west. And after 2,000 miles and 27 hours of driving, I finally arrived to my final destination in South Dakota. It's late August and I'm coming out here to chase some pronghorn like I did last year with THP. Bow hunting pronghorn last season was one of the funnest things I've ever done. So I'm not filming Hayden anymore. I got the bow in my hand and we'll be filming myself. So I'm excited to kick things off. We'll be there shortly.
She's unrelenting, no makeup on her, she's still pretty as a painting.
I was just thinking to myself, I knew they like these green fields. Spent a lot of time eating out in these green fields and I think I see a doe over there. But that ain't public. At least I'm fairly certain. I didn't look. The other side of the fence over there is public. I've been feeling sick for about 2 days now. But I've been trying to ignore it, fight it, because I can't afford to be sick. But I'm gonna fight back a little bit with some Dayquil. Oh, there's a buck right there. Good morning. My symptoms of sickness really took a turn for the worst yesterday afternoon. Feeling pretty rough out here, but the sun's starting to rise. I'm gonna try to do a couple things to hopefully make me feel better. And we'll get our first day started here in South Dakota. I guess yesterday was the first day, but we'll get our first full day of hunting in. Drove around yesterday afternoon, saw a bunch of pronghorn, enough to get a couple stalks in a day. I got some Dayquil, so I'm just gonna slowly try and get myself rolling. Try not to go too hard because I want to get well. It sucks that I'm out here sick. Alright, little update for you guys. I tried to go on a stalk this morning and felt like I was gonna die. So I went back to my van and got some medicine and just laid down in the back of my van. It's hot today, so I just tried to sweat it out. I've been sleeping for like 7 hours and I feel better. I felt pretty good this morning and then when I woke up and then it got worse. So probably eat something and then I'm feeling decent enough. I feel like I could probably go on a stalk. Right now it's getting later in the day and the temperature's winding down, so it sucks getting sick, man. I was so excited to come out here and hunt pronghorn. And I've still got the rest of today and 3 more days to hunt after that, so I'm just kind of taking it easy, hoping that I feel better soon. Good morning, day 2 of hunting now, and yesterday didn't even really get to hunt. Woke up this morning, I'm feeling a lot better. Definitely have a little bit of a cough, still a little bit stuffy. Got all day today, all day tomorrow, and all day Saturday, so it's raining right now. I don't think it's supposed to rain all day, but I think the one thing I forgot to pack was my rain jacket, so that's typical. So there's like 20-30 head of pronghorn over there. I think I can drop down into this little creek and work my way up towards them, but I'm not really sure. I think we should probably try it though. You don't know unless you try. They're on public. They're chaseable. This buck is chaseable. He's got 30 does with him. So let's just give her a whirl, see what we can come up with. Alright guys, first stalk in South Dakota. Wish it hadn't taken this long. But we're gonna see how close we can get to these pronghorn. It's about 20 to 30 of them out in this alfalfa field with a slammer buck. It ain't gonna be easy, but I was sick all day yesterday. Didn't even get to hunt, so excited to try and put a move on this one here. witching in this pond. I think I marked this pond last year because we spooked a bunch of ducks out of it last year too. This would be a good spot to come and hunt early season. Something I'd love to do is come out here and duck hunt the Prairie Pothole region. That'd be a blast. Probably 100 ducks on this pond and ducks flying in and out too. So it's starting to rain pretty good, so I put my main camera in my backpack. I popped up right here and I see one doe. I'm gonna bounce up one more rise and see if I can find that buck. There's a doe bedded like 100 yards from me. I don't know if it's the same one that I saw. I think it's a different one. Got these does at 63 yards. Two does have worked off to the right a little bit, closer to me, and I was able to stand up enough to see the rest of the herd. I only saw about 4 or 5 does, but I assume that they're all down in a little low spot in this field. And they're probably like 75, 80 yards out. These does walked closer to me a little bit, but they're working to the right way more, so they're probably like 60, 65 yards right now. There's a ever so slight dip in the field where these pronghorn are bedded. They're on the opposite side of that. These does over here have bedded down, and I think it's giving me enough cover with how the terrain lays out that I can crawl down to the left here and then try and inch my way closer to where I think that buck's just on the other side of this rise. So I think if I stay low enough, I can at least crawl up there and get eyes on him, see how far I am from there. But that's what I'm about to do here. There's that doe still over there to the right. I'm not sure how much closer I can get before she would bust me. I mean, this buck has got to just be like right in that low spot. It's definitely low enough to where he could hide. He just hadn't gotten up yet. I could wrap around a little bit further, look up into that draw that they're in. Maybe at least get eyes on them and be able to make a play from there. But I think if I try to go straight on a line, crawling to get up there, I don't know. I think that doe's gonna bust me. Alright, I'm leaving my backpack, my camera back here. There's a patch of tall grass here. Then there's a sage bush up there that I want to get to, so I'm gonna just try to loop around and keep that hill in front of me and the does. And hopefully that buck's right where I think he is, within range, and I can just stand up and shoot him, but we'll see. I've got nothing to work with here. Might just go all or nothing. If I can get a good range on those does, I might just stand up, draw. Hopefully that buck stands up closer than those does are, which I think the buck is closer to me than those does. Hopefully he just stands up and gives me just enough time to get a shot off. Right there. Yeah, I just ran out of room. Had one stand up right there. Yeah, that was tough. I just ran out of room. GoPro died. I just ran out of room there. I couldn't get any closer than I was. Stood up, and that buck was still right in the middle of all those does. So I only saw those 4 at the top, but there was one closer that stood up, and it, I think, was the first one to bust me. It got pretty close. If it was a buck bedded by himself, I feel like I probably could have killed him. A lot of eyes you gotta trick. On to the next one. We got all day. Weather's coming there in this field, like right here. And then that water hole I want to get to is right there. So I think I can sneak through here, wind up at the water hole without them seeing me. And then we'll just see how close they are from there, and then if we're going to get rained out or not. There's two nice bucks. I think maybe I can drop back here, use that tall straw looking stuff, crawl to the tree line. If I can get on the point of this, there's some more of that knee-high straw there that I could potentially just sit up in, inch my way to the edge of. Still might be like 100 yards from it, but unfortunately my time has run out. If they had stayed where they were, or even worked towards this water hole a little bit, I think I would have gotten a shot off on one, but I just saw a bolt of lightning that hit pretty close, so I'm gonna get out of here. Good morning, everybody. It's my last day in South Dakota chasing pronghorn, and I've got a bunch of them spotted out in the hayfield over here. And it's the first time that I've seen pronghorn on a public hayfield, which is good because I kept seeing them in private and was just like, oh, well, I could just hide behind the hay and wait for them to work towards me and it'd be an easy shot, but they're on private. But these ones are on public. So we're going to try to execute the same game plan. They're way the hell out there. There's two groups. I'm just assuming there's a buck in one of the groups. If there's not, then that would be kind of absurd because there's a lot of pronghorn out there. There's a little hill over there that I can get to and just kind of get a better read on what I want my game plan to be. So I'm gonna pack up my stuff and get to that hill, and I'll update y'all when I get there. Okay, I got eyes on that big group, and then there's a group of three over here somewhere that I'm gonna wrap around the low side of this hill, try and get eyes on that big group, and then see if I can slip into that field and just start working my way from hay bale to hay bale. Got to the corner of this fence post here. I've pretty much got eyes on all the pronghorn, I think. There was a doe that was kind of closer to this fence, but she's starting to work her way back into the middle of the field, so I think I'm gonna walk this fence line, stay low, try to get a little bit closer, close the gap. I saw just the buck's horns sticking up. He was bedded down next to two more does, so I'm gonna see how far I can get up this way, see if I can get eyes on him, and I guess just go from there. I'll try to get up to that hay bale. I've got a long ways to go. Slow and steady's gonna win this one. sneak around the backside. None of the does are going to be able to see me. And that buck's just laying all out in the open. If I can find a hay bale to get to and not be seen, then I might be able to sneak up and shoot him in his bed. Lofty aspirations, but we're going to try it. I just crawled for like an hour. I don't know what happened, if one of them saw me or... It's possible that they could have. I was running out of cover, but I think they might have heard me. Or maybe heard me first and then saw me. I was crawling. And I was making a lot of noise, but I had pretty good wind cover. And then like, right around the time when they spooked, the wind just like died down. I didn't have anything, and I kept crawling. And then next thing I know, I see him running out in the field. I was like, oh gosh, they must have saw me, heard me, smelled me. I don't really know, but I ran out into the field. I'm hiding behind a hay bale right now. They're walking the opposite direction. I don't know if I really have a chance, but they've seemed like they have calmed. Oh no, they're running now. They can cover some ground, that's for sure. They can sure cover some ground. Might have just gotten a little bit too aggressive, but I think I could have snuck up on, if they hadn't spooked when they did and I made it to the corner of that fence post, I think I might have been able to come over the backside of all of them and shoot that buck in his bed, but we'll never know now. Oh, we're gonna have to get on out of here. Unfortunately, that was how my pronghorn adventures ended, but there was still plenty of adventure yet to come. From South Dakota, I drove to Idaho to meet up with Corey Jacobson to film his elk hunt. I witnessed some pure pandemonium in the elk woods, and you'll be able to see some of that content on Elk 101's YouTube channel come January. You can also find some highlights and clips on my Instagram and follow along with my adventures live. Currently, I'm back home in North Carolina having some close encounters with whitetails. Subscribe to stay tuned, and thanks for watching.